Chicago train, Brent Sopel's skating style was anything but smooth. The former NHL defenseman enjoyed a career of more than 700 games, not because of talent alone, but also because of his strong work ethic, a willingness to sacrifice his body, and an intelligence level that enabled him to outwit opposing forwards. Growing up on a farm in Saskatchewan, and throughout most of his life, Sopel was never praised for his intelligence. Except when he was on the ice, of course. Off the ice, he struggled to read, to write, and many people labeled him as dumb.
You know, as a kid, you're in school, when you start reading, you start trying to figure out, why can't I read this? And your friends reading this, or your siblings reading that, and it just keeps going. You get labeled as being dumb and being stupid.
At the age of 32, while playing for the Chicago Blackhawks, Sopel discovered that he was dyslexic.
Yeah, I started my own foundation, the Brent Sopel Foundation, for dyslexia. It was diagnosed when I was, I think, 32 years old, when I found out my daughter has it. So I went through school and through most of my hockey career not knowing, what it has.
From 2007 to 2010, Brent Sopel manned the Blackhawks blue line en route to Chicago's first Stanley Cup championship in 49 years. He also provided leadership to a good young team that was on the precipice of a dynasty.
A shot-blocking machine, scored a goal in the final series, registering a +7 in the playoffs. One of the elder statesmen on the back end for the Blackhawks, Brent Sopel.
It's a lifelong bond that we'll always have with each other. It was a pretty special one. Obviously it was the first one after 49 years. So fans still come up to me and say, the three of them are awesome, but the first one, cracked the ice, and it was real special. So yeah, we'll have a lifelong bond, and anytime you see the guys, it's a brotherhood, and that was the great thing about that team that year. It was the closest camaraderie as a team we all had that I've ever been a part of. So for a lot of reasons, it was a very special year.
Now that Sopel understands more about dyslexia, he's decided to use his platform to help spread awareness.
And nobody talks about it, nobody knows about it. So really trying to drive focus of what it is, and some of the richest people in the world have it. Steve Jobs, Henry Winkler, the list goes on and on. So it's the fact that we can't read, we learn differently. That's it. And the way they teach in schools right now, they got one way and one way only, and it's 100% completely wrong, because not every kid is the same.
Roxanne Farwick Owens, an associate professor and department chair at DePaul University's College of Education, also believes that students with different learning styles should be accommodated.
It can really damage a child's self-esteem when they become the one that it's hard for them to read out loud. I think we all remember those kids in class who hated to read out loud because they stumbled over words. And so the earlier that you can get kids interventions, the better they have a chance of being successful in school.
Despite being dyslexic, Sopel's ability to read a play on the ice was better than most.
It went up during the final, not down. Sopel scores! Off the face-off, Brent Sopel has blasted one that has tied the game.
Sopel may face certain challenges with dyslexia, but that doesn't mean he's dumb or disabled. All it means is that he learns differently. For Good Day DePaul, I'm David P. Stein.